Hey everyone, let's jump right into this explainer. Have you ever wondered how a moment of absolute, crushing despair can literally rewire a community thousands of years later? Today, we're tracing an absolutely remarkable journey that weaves the ancient narrative of a woman named Hannah and her incredible resilience right into a vibrant, modern-day community celebration. We're going to be looking at how deep personal struggles can, eventually, blossom into shared joy.
So to really grasp this journey, we've got to start with the hardest part of the whole process. How do we find joy in our deepest struggles? Like, how does a journey that starts in just utter isolation and sorrow eventually morph into shared fellowship and celebration? It's a huge question, right? Keep that in the back of your mind, because it is the guiding thread for everything we're unpacking today from our source material.
Section 1. Hannah's Bitter Struggle. Facing Infertility and Misunderstanding.
We're starting right in the thick of Hannah's initial state of deep, deep sorrow. She's struggling with this incredibly heavy, isolated burden of infertility. And she wasn't just facing a physical hurdle, she was dealing with this immense emotional pressure that left her feeling completely alone and just devastated. Imagine the absolute weight of that sorrow. You're pouring your heart out in total anguish, facing life's toughest hurdles, and the very people you hope might comfort you, even a religious leader like Eli, they completely misunderstand your grief. Instead of comfort, she was initially judged. It's a really sobering reminder of just how incredibly isolating hardship can be, isn't it?
Moving on to Section 2, the power of prayer and a vow made in earnest.
Now take a look at this modern drawing from our source material, dated May 9th, 2026. It anchors this ancient story with some really powerful Chinese text translating to God hears prayers and Hannah's prayer. Notice the colorful imagery of a window interwoven with the structure of a cross, and the striking red characters just leaping off the page. It brilliantly visualizes that direct link between a desperate, deeply personal plea and the rock-solid faith that those prayers don't just go unheard. When every single human avenue felt totally closed off, she took all that intense bitterness and channeled it straight into a conversation with the divine.
Section 3. Faith and Transformation. The shift from bitterness to peace.
You know, Hannah's emotional journey wasn't some straight, easy line. It maps out perfectly from deep distress to ultimate peace, wrapping up with an answered prayer. It kicks off with absolute bitterness, moves into earnest prayer, and then, bam, she hits that incredibly painful roadblock of being misunderstood by Eli. But she pushes through that into peaceful faith, which ultimately leads to the answered prayer. It's a highly structured, totally relatable progression of navigating profound hardship. The big shift didn't happen because her circumstances instantly changed. It happened because her internal posture completely shifted.
The sheer contrast in her physical and emotional demeanor here is just incredible. Before her earnest prayer, she is completely sorrowful. She's weeping. She can't even bring herself to eat. But after she surrenders those burdens, her countenance is completely lifted. She's filled with this joyful faith, stepping forward with profound peace before the tangible answer to her prayer has even shown up. I mean, that is a massive transformation.
Section 4, Patience in the Bloom. The metaphor of the night blooming cereus.
So just as Hannah had to endure this really quiet, unseen waiting period, nature actually has a brilliant way of demonstrating this exact kind of patience. Check out the epiphyllum. What is truly wild about this spectacular plant is that it notoriously requires up to a full year of waiting. We're talking specific conditions and immense patience, just to reveal its breathtaking beauty for a single night. It doesn't just bloom on command. It waits in the dark before opening up in this fleeting, spectacular way. And the modern study group we're looking at uses this as a stunning, real-world metaphor for Hannah's journey to motherhood,
Because the fruits of faith truly do require time to blossom. The study group from our source shared this super rare floral event right around Mother's Day. And this creates a deeply poignant link between the miracle of life, the immense patience of a mother like Hannah, and the eventual, beautiful reward of endurance. It's a great reminder that the waiting period, no matter how long or how dark it gets, often precedes the absolute most beautiful outcomes.
And our final section, Section 5, Celebrating Community Joy, From Isolation to Fellowship.
And just look at this sprawling potluck feast on that classic red and white checkered tablecloth. You've got vibrant vegetables, noodles, hearty dishes, but here's the thing. This isn't just a meal. It's a tangible, visible manifestation of community. Hannah didn't keep her ultimate joy to herself, and neither does this modern community. We are literally witnessing the complete transition from those isolated tears we talked about at the very beginning, straight into this warm, vibrant fellowship. It's the exact spot where isolation ends and collective celebration begins.
This modern community beautifully mirrors the ancient text. They aren't just, reading words off a page. They are bringing the whole story to life. By sharing the visual wonder of that blooming epiphyllum, celebrating the joy of Mother's Day, and actively discussing Hannah's incredible faith while breaking bread together, they're bonding their own lives with hers. It brings a thousands of years old lesson right into their present reality over a shared meal.
So I want to leave you with this. What answered prayers can you share with your community today? Just as Hannah's answered prayer became a testimony for generations, and just as this modern group gathered around a table to share theirs, the joys you experience are amplified when they're shared. Don't keep your victories isolated. Bring them to the table. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Now go out there and share your bloom with the world.